So let's talk about the black race. And we're going to talk about the black race because we have to have the polar opposite of the beginning of the conversation in order to get to a point. Obviously, the black race holds the DNA that was utilized in order to create the white race. When the ancient, those otherworldly travelers came and began to manipulate the DNA, they only had one earthly DNA to deal with, and that was the black DNA. And you must remember, here's the conundrum. And here's where we could split this story in two and I could reverse it all. But the otherworldly creators fell in love with the black race. They fell in love with this race to the point to where they wanted to relieve the burden that they had put up on it. They sat and watched this earthly being in all of its splendor work under conditions that it knew was wrong and wanted to relieve it because it began to become attached to the black race. The black race was at a natural level in its evolution that would have given it a little bit more time to be able to mentally adjust to its abilities. But when that creation was formed from the black race and the otherworldly being, it sped up and caused an unnatural progression or transition for the black race. And this is why when you look all over the world at the black race, you see that they're in positions that they don't know how to capitalize on. Look at Africa, right? Look at all the wealth of Africa and look who runs it. It's not because the black race is stupid. It's because the black race is the original race moving forward with its on a evolutionary pace, moving forward on a natural evolutionary pace in an unnatural evolutionary setting. The setting has moved faster than the pace of the intellect and ability of the black race. The environment's evolution is speeding up the technology. But the evolution of the black race is not moving as fast as the evolution of the environment until you get to the African American. And the reason being is that the African American was taken out of its inhabitant of Africa, brought into what we call the Great Experiment of America, and the African American had its DNA restructured. So that it could be the revitalizing element of the entire black race. But once again, we have creators manipulating things that should not be manipulated. And so we have in America, we have this inner conflict between African Americans and their African DNA, their ability to achieve intellectual levels that are unmatched by any other black race on earth is in direct conflict with the DNA, their original DNA, that's trying to slow their evolution back to a normal pace. And so we have within our country two extremes. We have an extreme that's in direct conflict, and you can see it with the way the intelligence acts so violently. And then we have the extreme to where the intelligence no longer wants to assimilate with its own. We have the upper class and the lower class. But we have the examples that other blacks or Africans around the world can mimic, which will increase the speed of their natural intelligent evolution, which will help them catch up to the environment's evolution, meaning the technology. And until that point, we'll see Africans in Africa, blacks everywhere, being subdued by every other culture. And you'll notice that those other cultures are more of a mixture of what began the white race. So you have your African and your otherworldly DNA mixes together. You have the white race, the offspring of that. And then you have the white race coming back into the better parts of the earth and intermingling with the black race in order to create the sub races or the other races. The other races begin to intermingle back with the white race, and then you create something such as the Asians or the lighter brown Indians, or the so you have the ones who are running the world, because when you look at who's running the world, you're going to see white, Asian, and Indian. Mostly, you're not going to see black running the world. You're going to see black being a part of the world being ran. And this is not to say that the blacks are inferior. The blacks are natural. That's it. The blacks are a natural entity on this earth trying to keep up with unnatural things that have came into the earth, that it knows it has to be able to deal with and adapt to. There are no there's nothing coming to the earth to increase to upgrade the black race, because the black race is of the earth. The only thing that's going to upgrade the black race is the earth. But as we talk, these are things that we need to discuss, because if we don't discuss this, you'll have every black person thinking they're an Egyptian. Every black person thinking that Nibiru is coming to save them from what? Thinking that they are chosen to be a people chosen by God, by a God who did not create them. So yeah, I wanted to discuss everything and answer everything, but I'm probably leaving you with more questions. We spoke about alien abductions and the reason for it. We spoke about the space race and what it is. We'll talk on that. Actually, let's talk about that a little bit in a moment. We spoke about the black race, the white race, where white people come from, where black people come from. And some people may say, this dude is on some other shit, because basically he's saying that white people are aliens. And I am. And I'm also saying that there's a segment of the white race that understands exactly who they are. And in that segment, there's a division of those who want to help the world catch up and become one earth on one level of intelligence, one love, one heart, right? Then there's the other side that says we are superior because we think like our other worldly creator, and we should be able to do what we want to do. There's a conflict in that inner circle. Then there's the segment of the white race that does not know shit about their origins. They don't know that they're descendant from alien bloodlines. They're seeing these things that say this, that, and the third, but who wants to believe any of that shit? And those are the people that are walking around on a day-to-day basis. They don't know. Should they know? Of course. Everyone should know their lineage. Should they be demonized for it? No. Hell fucking no. Hell no. Why? Because they're otherworldly? No. We as earthly beings have been given a beautiful opportunity to interact for thousands of years with otherworldly beings who have taken on our image and likeness in order to know more about us, communicate with us, and in some cases, strictly, honestly, just love us. Now it's the 1%. It's that segment that knows exactly who they are and does not give a fuck about the earth. Those are the ones who we should worry about. Actually, we don't have to worry about it. There's something coming that's going to straighten out everything that's been made crooked. Unfortunately, we don't know if that's going to affect the good guys and the earthly beings. We don't know. And we don't know what kind of effect it's going to have. Is it going to have a good effect? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be ugly? Is it going to be pretty? We don't know. All we know is that at some point in time, our earth encountered an otherworldly being that decided to manipulate the genes of earthly beings and create an entirely new species. And that new species has become the ruler of this earth. And as the ruler of this earth, it has a responsibility to maintain its rule. And it's doing just that by making sure that the otherworldly beings that created its life does not come back and create an upheaval of its power. So it has created space weapons, a space net, and other things utilizing technology that will prevent the return of any alien life form that directly threatens the power of the man that was created by an otherworldly being. The man, the people. We've learned that the black race was the base component of that creation. And we've learned a little bit about why the black race is in the position it's in. And it has nothing to do with, although it may seem like it has nothing to do with the other race being this dominant power that wants to destroy you, because it's not the other race. It's going to be segments inside of that race that was created from the DNA structure of the black man or black race and the otherworldly DNA structure that was combined to create them. It's going to be about the small group of people in that group that are wanting to subdue everybody on earth so that it can retain its power. But what we've learned is that the African American, or the black, is dealing with a problem that no other that as far as we know, there's no other civilization on earth that can deal with this, because the black is the original, and the black has been given the weight of evolving at a natural pace with a little bit of help, while the environment, the world that it calls home, is evolving at an unnatural pace, utilizing technology, utilizing different wavelengths, utilizing different vibrations that are unnatural to the earth. So you have a natural being in its natural evolutionary flow being gobbled up by an environment that's evolving at an unnatural pace. This is the problem that the African or the black has to deal with while being here on this earth. There's a few answers to the problem, but it doesn't matter, because when it's all said and done, universal laws have been broken. Universal laws have to be corrected at some stage in the growth of our humanity and our universal citizenship. All right, so we've talked about the white race, the black race, the alien race, and the Bible. I want to leave you with this. More questions. Let's start a conversation.